some of us just want quick profits, and they will try to do that monkey jumping around so that they can make that profit. So that's just in an effort to get that money from the market. But in reality, what they really need is to know where you are in this market cycle. Because if you know that, it's going to be really easy, and this chart shows you that possibility. Now, look at the XRP chart. It shows you another odds which is evolving, right? The possibility which is moving through. So for those who have hate towards consolidation, they should understand it's a part of this journey. If you really get onto that one and look at the charts and indicators, this is showing you an upcoming rally. But the problem is there can be 10, 15 or 20 days more of consolidation, which for some are creating problems because they are not thinking like investors. So if you are an investor rather than a trader, you mostly would see all of this opportunity. You probably would be watering your portfolio as it grows. And the most important thing here is to understand how different assets in the same asset class is performing and the psychology of investors or traders in this asset class. We need to dig deeper to discuss about these so that now you will understand by comparing other assets in the same asset class with the average of this asset class and then looking at XRP chart. Let's dig through that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, looking at all of these charts, you will get some certain ideas that way we are leading to. Now, at the same time, you do need to understand how the current affairs or the fundamentals of these assets are evolving. Especially for us, it's XRP. So now looking at that, Ripple, the company, is highlighting this one. Hundreds of financial institutions across 55 plus countries worldwide agree that RippleNet offers a competitive edge with faster, cheaper remittance. Now we know the specification. If they are going to use this technology, we understand how this is going to evolve. Now the partners from this particular network are coming out and highlighting this one, right? When they are using RippleNet, that's how much they save. So that's the profit in that partner's bank account, right? So it's Kuwait Finance House and they are working on this one with this high profitability. So automatically all of others who are working on this one are kind of getting something similar. Now, what you need to understand here is we are in a market where it's evolving. Basic research, it's happening. Then you will do a proof of concept to niche down into that industrial area where you're going to look at this. So that's going to be the innovation and then implementation, where you're going to create that regime and say, okay, this is how we are going to do this and this is what our environment is for this particular landscape. Here it's payments, right? So now you're looking at the settlement of the new system, how it's going to be there and how it's going to advance further. So now look at this. You understand the expansion of this particular network and the profitability of the partners. That's how each business grows, right? If someone who entered in that particular partnership is making a ton of profit, automatically the word will spread and others will move in. We have a lot of fintech partners who are partnering with Ripple and gaining that. Now, as an XRP investor, when I'm looking at the court case, how it's evolving, that's also moving positive. But you may ask, okay, but the price hasn't done much. Now, technically, it can give you a lot of different ideas. This is one of the possibility which I see. Now, it can happen, it may not happen, but that is one of the possibility after the scandal. Now, if I would like to explain this, now I previously shared this with my patrons, but to give you guys an explanation, look at this particular candle. That's a bullish shaped candle, as I explained in previous video, this can be like 3-wave correction to the downside and then a pump up. Why? Because even after, look at this is just one candle, you moved up till here and now you are still near the close of the previous candle. And imagine these 3 candles here, they came down fine, but they didn't even manage to go till half of the candle like this. So here, when such a bullish shaped candle is popping up, engulfing this particular one, that's an engulfing candle pattern, right? So the price action here suggests there can be a move higher, but at the same time, this particular 3 candle pattern suggests that it's a 3 candle reversal. Now, if it's a 2 candle reversal, what you'll get is today, this particular day, close moving up, but chances are high that one pops, then you have 3 candles to the downside a little bit, and then you pop through. So now when we pop through, we first have this one as resistance, which is 1.65. Then this wick here, the top, is a resistance, which is 1.75, after which you are looking at 1.83 and then 1.95. So these are the resistance which you would be having when you are looking at this asset when it's moving up on a shorter time span. This is what you are actually eyeing towards, right? So when you insert yourself into this chart, when you go inside, you're kind of looking at what's happening there. Okay, will there be a capitulation? Yeah, usually this pattern comes up with one. So how does that actually work? It comes down here, bounce here, down, then it evolve. So usually that's what we actually see, right? But no one knows what's exactly going to happen. But we are trying to anticipate a market which is going to do what. Now, yeah, these are some of the possibilities which we see. But when you see such current FS moving into such a confidential area where you are getting these kind of confidence in the market, that's cool, because the judge here gives you that perspective that, yeah, SEC can't just say that. Discovery has to be done for all those documents and they need to discuss through that, right? How they declared Bitcoin and Ethereum is not a security. Now, look at SEC's position. They don't want to show that documents outside. Why? Because if they do, they'll have to announce XRP is also not a security, which goes against what they have done till date, right? So this is the fundamentally changing stuff in this case. Now, at the same time, you're looking at the general market, which is kind of showing you the markets are tapering. They are slowly moving down. And it's not only just one central bank highlighting this stuff. You have a lot of different central banks coming out and saying this is a possibility, we are eyeing it. Fine. So at that time, you see crypto market evolving. Fine. Great. We are now around 2.4 trillion. Do you remember the days when we were flirting with that $1 trillion mark? It was really hard, right? Then we doubled. Fine. Now, if we double from here, we are moving towards $5 trillion mark. You have to understand that. But what you need there is discipline, and discipline need patience. So if you are someone looking at this market saying, okay, those are red days, let's mix it. The market is kind of, popping here, there, but the assets which you are on is not moving. Now, you'll literally have to go look at the assets, weights in the market cycle, what happened previously to this pull off. You had around 100 days of consolidation. Here in this particular asset, it's breaking through. You have around 77 days of consolidation, but the RSI has not broken out yet, meaning as it just break out of this one, it can take 80 or 90 days, but it will still move higher. So these are some stuff which you need to understand in different assets. Now, when you come back into the altcoin market cap, this is what you see. You kind of had a run up 300%, fine, you consolidated like 110 days. Then you moved up again, consolidated, moved up again, consolidated, moved up again, consolidated. Each time it's kind of a random pattern, but you can see average is like 40-50 days of consolidation in the general market, whereas in large cap alts it's like 100 days. Near to that is the average days of consolidation. So if you are looking at different coins, you do have to understand that. Now, in a market cycle perspective, this is the altcoin chart, right? Weekly one. Where are you? Now we don't know where are you. I don't know where are you, but I know where I am with my assets in my portfolio. And the way I look at it, I'm like, okay, we are somewhere here. Fine. We just crossed above the all-time highs. Great. But we didn't actually get such a consolidation. We're still moving higher. So if you look this, we reached the all-time highs. Then again, we went up with a little bit of consolidation, a correction. Then we moved up, creating a new high. So yeah, that's happening here. And then we retested that level again before that consolidative move, corrective move. Now we are not showing a symptom of consolidation here. Instead, we are moving high, right? So if you look at this, do you see the similarity with this one or this one? I personally look at this like, okay, the highs in this RSI is reducing, it's moving lower, which is similar to what is happening here. So if we break to the downside, that's a consolidative correction and a move before the wave 2. Fine. But if we are breaking up higher, that shows the market has a lot of buying momentum and we are not slowing down. What does that mean? That clearly identifies that the market move is to the upside and you're going to enter into wave 2. But remember, the correction or the consolidation after wave 2 will be much longer. Here you are looking like 60-70 days of consolidation, but you had around a year of consolidation in wave 1, right? You don't actually get much of it before. So possibilities are after wave 2 you will get that. Now, what does that mean to your portfolio? If you have a portfolio with 10, 20, 40 different assets, it's going to be mixed. If you have a concentrated portfolio with 8 to 10 assets and you are like, 3 of your asset moved up last 3 months, other didn't move, it's fine. You should be happy because those 3 which moved will be slow. Yeah, I agree. But others which didn't move much, they're going to move higher. That's going to be a good stuff for next 2-3 months. Now, once they slow down, others which didn't move last 2-3 months will move. That's how the market actually works. So when people look at this stuff and say, okay, Ether is moving high, my asset is not, they're kind of, forgetting everything about this market. They're kind of looking at this market and saying, okay, this is not doing much. Now, you have to come back to XRP, right? So I'm taking you guys to XRP chart here. What do you see here? You can pause the video here and analyze yourself and, get to a conclusion and see, how it matches up with what I see. Now, I can be wrong, but I think this is what's happening there. This is from the bottom till this top here, it was like 20x. Fine. From this bottom, before the pop off, it's like 11x. Fine. Now, from your bottom here till here, that's like 16x. Okay, somewhat similar. Then this one, from this bottom here to the pop off here, it's 10x. Great, cool. Now, you got something similar twice. Then here there was a correction of 56%. Great. That was a huge buying opportunity. Now here you already got 52% of correction. So that was a dip to 0.95. 0.93 depending upon which exchange you trade, but say the average of 0.95. So if you happen to buy in between 0.95 towards 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, that's okay. Buying the dip is like that. You may not get the exact bottom, but that's how the market works. If you're trading, if you're an investor, you kind of accumulated here. You're kind of sitting back, relaxing and moving up. Now, what are you eyeing it? If this is going to repeat here, that's another 1300%. So what does that mean? Your bottom here was $1. Assume that. So 1300% from there, or I think it was, now let's jump into the chart itself and measure the accurate stuff. We don't just want to, just speculate on that one because that's something existing in the market, right? So we'll just go back there and measure it. So that's perfect. Now, to be precise, from that bottom till this top, it's 1500%. So that's like 15x. Now, if you put that into perspective here, after the correction, so you're going to get something like this. You're moving for that 15x. Great. So that's something in between $15 to $20, which you are eyeing before a consolidation. Now, remember, when we say before a consolidation, people kind of tend to miss this stuff, 220 days of consolidation. Because if you are just looking at from this bottom, if you entered here, if you are eyeing the top here, that's my mistake, eyeing the top here, you are like, okay, we still have a chance of popping 100x. Yeah, but with such a huge consolidation in between. So if you are someone without patience, it's going to be really hard for you. So back to this one. You need patience. You need patience. You need discipline. There is no question in that. And the market has a long way to go. So if you are reaching this point here with that $15 to $20 mark and consolidating, the next pop in here was like, again, 1,300% pop. But from the bottom here of the correction, now that one is this one, right? You're getting around 10x from that top. So 15 to 20, you're looking for around 120, 150, $200. But now if you look at the correction and then from the bottom how much you did, it was like 30x. So if you are correcting something similar to last cycle, the correction itself would be from that top to the bottom 65, 66% or 70%, clear. Now from that $15, $20 mark, say if you are correcting like 70%, where do you reach, right? Imagine that we reach somewhere here, say the average $16, $17, and you're correcting like 70%. We are reaching near $4, $5 mark. From there, it's 30x. So again, you are reaching somewhere around $150. So the average, you can consider $80 to $120. That's kind of a safe mark there, right? Now, yeah, others may disagree. You may have a different opinion, but this is what the charts suggest. If you can believe, if you can digest, it's fine. Because there would be guys who would be saying, you need a ton of money to come into the market to push this like that. Now, if you look at Dogecoin and say, repeat that one. You can go into the return rates and look at Dogecoin and say, okay, that has already done 260x from the bottom. If you want to go to the chart and look at that, you'll understand what we are talking about. Now, it's only not one asset. You go through this and you see a ton of assets which have done way higher, which have actually gone through massive upside, right? So this is what you are looking in the market. Now, you need to align your portfolio in such a way that you are making the most out of it. You need to understand this for one asset, this for another asset. This is just a tip for you guys here. Now, those who are in the Patreon, they already understand what we are looking at. I've given the explanation to you guys, right? We're going through a lot of different assets, giving you the idea of what they are doing in this market cycle and what's the possibility upcoming. If you also want such an update, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So with all of this, you now understand things are changing. We saw April, how it moved. Now we are looking at May. Now do understand, even if you get 10, 15 days of consolidation here and there, and then you're popping through, that's cool. Now when you see one asset pumping, don't run behind that one if you are not already placed in that. Because if you're positioned there, great. You are slowly taking profits as it's continuing higher. If you are not, don't chase the price. It's going to end bad for you. Believe me, that happened to me before in last cycle, and I don't want to repeat that, and that's why I'm informing you this. Now, once this price goes up, pop through, slow down, people are going to take profit, and they would rebalance or utilize that profit into this market, back into this market, meaning other assets would pop. So when you see some are popping, that's a good news. Now people have more money to put back into this market cycle. So they are going to make a lot of money in other assets too. They're going to compound their profits. If you want to do that, cool, great. You can look at the Patreon link given in the description below. Now, if you had received any kind of value from this video, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. That helps the channel a lot. Now, I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.